Okay, so solve for y. If I gave you 4 plus 3y equals 19, you would know that solve for y would be to say, what does y equal? To get y by itself, what does y equal? You would know that you want to put the 4 on the other side of the equal sign. So we're going to get rid of it on this side by writing minus 4 from this side so that it'll cancel. And if we minus 4 from that side of the equal sign, we have to subtract it from this side of the equal sign. So we're left with the 3y equals 19 minus 4, which is 15. Now I have 3 y's. I want to make it only 1 y. So I'm going to get rid of this times 3. To get rid of times 3, I do the opposite operation. So I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides. So when I divide by 3, that's 3 divided by 3 is going to cancel. And I'm going to be left with y equals 5. Great. You know how to do that. Now I'm going to give you x plus 5y equals 15. Now, this time I'm going to do the same thing. Yes, now I have a variable instead of a number. Instead of the 4, there's an x there. But I still want to get these things on the other side of the equal sign and be left with, my goal is still to get y by itself. That's still my goal. So I'm going to get rid of all the other terms. To get rid of this x, I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the 4. I'm going to subtract it. So I'm going to subtract x because that will make it cancel. Subtract x from both sides. So I'll be left with 5y equals, now on this side of the equal sign I have 15 minus x. These are not like terms. I cannot combine them. So really I'm just going to put them next to each other. I'm just going to have 15 minus x. I can't combine them. That's what I have on that side of the equal sign is now, that's what I have left. Now I still don't have y by itself. I want to get y by itself. So I have 5 y's, 5 times y. To get rid of that times y, I'm going to do the opposite operation. So I'm going to divide instead of times by 5. And that'll cancel. So I'll be left with 1y on that side of the equal sign. Now if I divided this side of the equal sign by 5, I have to divide everything by 5. Everything has to have the same treatment to keep it equal. We need to keep it fair. Everything gets the same. So this 15 needs to be divided by 5, and this negative 1x has to be divided by 5. So I'm left with 15 divided by 5 is 3, and negative 1x divided by 5. So negative 1/5 x. So y is by itself now, and that's what y equals. This also happens to tell us, because the y is by itself, and there's a number by itself, there's a constant, and there's a number in front of the x. This actually tells us the slope and the y-intercept. So when we have an equation set up like this, when we have a constant, which is just a number, and then a coefficient in front of the x, and it's equal to the y, this tells us slope, intercept, form. It tells us about the graph of the equation.